Ever walk into a museum and feel a painting just grab you? A scene so intense, so real, you can almost hear the sounds and feel the emotions. Today, we're diving into the world of an artist who didn't just paint scenes like that. She lived them. This is the story of Artemisia, a true titan of the Baroque era who wielded a paintbrush like a sword, carving her own path in a world designed to keep her out. Forget what you think you know about old masters. Artemisia rewrote the rulebook. Born in Rome in 1593, Artemisia wasn't just any girl. She was the daughter of Artemisia Gentileschi, a renowned painter himself and a follower of the revolutionary artist. Imagine growing up surrounded by the smell of oil paints and linseed oil, watching canvases come to life with dramatic light and shadow. While other girls were learning needlepoint, Artemisia was in her father's workshop, grinding pigments, preparing canvases, and, most importantly, learning to paint with a skill that quickly surpassed many of her father's male apprentices. Ha talento! WAS! Ande! Niaburu! You can see it in her early works. She wasn't just copying her father's style. She was absorbing the raw emotional power of Caravaggio's techniques, that intense contrast between light and dark, known as chiaroscuro, and making it her own. But her world and her art were about to be shattered and then forged anew in the crucible of a brutal experience. At just 17, a devastating event occurred. A painter named Agostino Tazzi, hired by her father as a tutor, assaulted her. In the 17th century, a woman's honor was everything, and the path to justice was a public ordeal. Artemisia, however, refused to be silenced. She and her father took Tazzi to court. The trial was a grueling 7-month nightmare. Artemisia was publicly shamed and even subjected to torture by thumbscrews, a cruel method used to verify the truth of her testimony. Through it all, she stood firm, her voice ringing with conviction. Tazzi was found guilty, though his punishment was light. But for Artemisia, this trial wasn't just about one man. It was a declaration of her own strength and refusal to be a victim. This profound trauma became a powerful, recurring theme in her art. It didn't define her, but she channeled the fire of her righteous anger into her canvases. Soon after the trial, she painted one of her most famous and visceral masterpieces, Judith Slaying Holofernes. This isn't the delicate, hesitant Judith you might see in other paintings. This is a scene of raw, physical power. Two strong women, working together with grim determination, dominate the canvas. Look at the force in Judith's arms, the concentration on her face, the sheer physicality of the act. It's not just a biblical story. It's a testament to female strength and resolve. Many see Artemisia herself in the face of Judith, transforming her personal pain into an iconic image of female power. Following the trial, Artemisia moved to Florence. This was a pivotal moment. Here, she broke free from her father's shadow and established herself as an independent artist. She married, had children, and, most remarkably, became the first woman ever to be accepted into the prestigious Accademia delle Arti, del Disegno, Academy of the Arts of Drawing. Think about that. This was an exclusive boys' club of the greatest artistic minds in Florence, and Artemisia kicked the door down. She was no longer just Orazio's daughter. She was Artemisia, a master in her own right. In Florence, she befriended some of the most brilliant people of her time, including Galileo Galilei, the famous astronomer. Her letters reveal a sharp, ambitious, and business-savvy woman navigating the complex world of patronage. She painted for the powerful Medici family, creating large-scale, dramatic works that showcased her incredible skill. Her subjects were often powerful women from history and mythology, Cleopatra, Creccia Mary, Macadarin, but she painted them differently. Her heroines aren't passive or weak. They are intelligent, decisive, and fully in control of their own stories, often depicted at the most dramatic and emotionally charged moments. Her painting Jael and Sisera, for example, shows another biblical heroine taking decisive action. Instead of focusing on the gore, Artemisia captures the quiet, tense moment just before the final blow. Jael raises the hammer, her face a mask of concentration. It's a psychological drama, a study in quiet, strength, and deadly purpose. Artemisia was a master storyteller, using light, shadow, and body language to convey complex emotions that words couldn't capture. After her success in Florence, Artemisia's career took her all over Italy, back to Rome, then to Venice, and eventually to Naples, which became her home for the last part of her life. Naples was a bustling, competitive art hub, but Artemisia thrived. She ran a successful workshop, took on apprentices, and managed large-scale commissions. She was a celebrity artist, a businesswoman, and a single mother, juggling demands that would overwhelm most people today, let alone a woman in the 17th century. One of the ultimate signs of her success came later in her life when she was invited to London to work for King Charles V. This was a massive honor. She joined her father Orazio, who was already working there, and together they collaborated on the ceiling paintings for the Queen's house in Greenwich. Imagine, father and daughter, once teacher and student, now working side by side as respected masters on a royal commission. It was the culmination of a lifetime of struggle and triumph. But why was Artemisia so revolutionary? It wasn't just that she was a woman in a man's world. It was how she painted. She brought a unique female perspective to subjects that had for centuries been depicted through the male gaze. Her female figures have agency. They are the subjects of their own stories, not just objects of beauty. When she paints herself, as she did in her self-portrait as the allegory of painting, she's not demure or passive. She's in the act of creation, her arm outstretched, her brow furrowed in concentration. She is messy. She is working. She is an artist. For centuries after her death, Artemisia Gentileschi's story was largely forgotten. Her works often misattributed to her father or other male artists. But in the 20th century, art historians, particularly feminist scholars, rediscovered her. They recognized the unique power in her work and pieced together the incredible story of her life. They saw her not just as a great Baroque painter, but as a trailblazer who used her art to speak truth to power. Today, Artemisia Gentileschi is finally recognized as one of the greatest painters of her generation. Her story is a powerful reminder that talent knows no gender, and that resilience can turn pain into something powerful and enduring. She mastered the art world not by playing by its rules, but by creating her own, leaving behind a legacy of breathtaking art that continues to inspire and empower people hundreds of years later. She was more than a survivor. She was a master. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the life of the incredible Artemisia. If you found her story as inspiring as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the lives of fascinating artists. Let me know in the comments which of her paintings is your favorite. See you in the next video!